Let's take a look.
This console reports on the militia's current strike team missions, Pathfinder.
Cool.
Please speak with Tyrion Candros for authorization to participate.
Oh, I just did. Uh-oh, I have Cal on my desk. Oh no! Uh-oh. Gonna mess with stuff. Is that a flat screen TV? Really thick flat screen TV? Kinda looks like it. What do we got? 97 Crusader? Nah. 37 Falcon? Nope. Omniblade 2. Ooh, Soul Salvage, let's do that. Katana and Viper. Nothing really I'm interested in. What about this stuff? Alright, let me first confirm trade so I don't have my junk taking up space. Cyclone. And my cat just knocked my car keys down. Oh well. Not gonna use that. Might be nice. Skip that. Get rid of that. Yep, never use scopes and pistols. Yep. 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 Indeed. And materials. Okay. And get a little bit more out of it. Cool. Shopping done. Hang on, I'm some merchant. Sergeant Acker.
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilk and Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story.
Yeesh.
Nilkan, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanted to chat with you.
You are not nice.
The Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
Your wife's all broken up over this. She says you didn't do it, and that she loves you.
She's a wonderful person. At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
Last I checked, getting into a spat wasn't against the law.
There's more. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. Witness saw the chief's chest explode.
I'm so sorry. That's awful.
We were close. He was a stubborn son of a... I admired that about him. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
Don't throw in the towel yet. I'll review the evidence. Maybe I can find something that'll help.
That would be great. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Candros would give you access.
And
Maybe
keep
there's still
stuff
hope.
again. Silly kitty. We're gonna make that tapping noise stop. I'm sure you guys heard that. Ugh, side quests already. Hey, Candros.
That's the console for our strike teams.
What are they?
Assault and extraction squads. When we need the best, I have Apex, combat experts who've signed up to defend us. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
I'll deploy your people carefully, Candros.
Appreciate that, Ryder. But trust me, Apex can handle themselves.
Well,
Authorization
not my
complete.
Apex skills.
Good luck out there.
Then again, it's a 4-player co-op multiplayer thing, and I usually play single player. I die a lot. I don't get much done. And I can also send people out. Well, that's... Okay, cool. So, I have another game that I beat because I just was too eager to play. And I guess strike teams are across. That's kind of cool. Send a strike team, you're fine. Send a strike team, you're fine. There we go. And loot. What do we got? Loot. Loot. Scorpion, probably just gonna sell that. Titanium, fancy. Platinum. What else we got? Vanadium, that's good. Money! Money. Money. Phalanx. Faruzad. Alec Amp, that isn't showing the picture of because they screwed up, I'm guessing. More leukemia, thank you. Gimme, thank you. More materials, aluminum. Aluminum again. Soft chitin. More soft chitin, okay. Cadmium. And more credits, okay. So those guys are out doing their thing. Did that, did that, did that. Quest. Side quest is still pointing to Ikandros.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
I spoke with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
Doesn't seem right to put all that on him.
Of course it isn't, but that's the perception. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
And you assume he's lying.
What's a lie to a murderer? Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
The side quests begin already. You're right.
The Nexus versus Colonist Nilken, Evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation!
We're not giving up, Nilken. We're taking it back.
No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to...
No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Well then, that's quite a thing that happened. And, okay. It's not immediately in this area, so I'm gonna go over here and do this.
This is the planet where we landed. Habitat 7. It wasn't even close to livable.
That's been true of every world we've found. Ryder, we were discussing your next expedition.
Good. I was starting to wonder who was in charge around here.
Director Addison is entitled to her opinion, and mine overrules hers.
You're an asset.
Does she know that?
I oversee the entire initiative, and I have decided to give you a chance to prove yourself.
What a jerk.
To that end, the Scourge dealt us a serious blow. Whatever it is, our scientists theorize it's not natural.
An artificial energy cloud?
It wasn't here when we left the Milky Way, yet it rendered all the Golden Worlds unlivable. Then there's the aliens you ran into, the Ket. They're obsessed with alien structures we found scattered around the cluster. They'll do anything to prevent others from accessing them. It seems murder isn't exclusive to the Milky Way. And now the challenge is to settle a world in spite of all that. This one here. Eos.
How?
You need to increase the viability of the planet so we can establish an outpost. Then we can bring more colonists out of stasis. The more colonists we have, the more resources we can gather to support the Nexus. Everything depends on it. There are 6 worlds we hope to settle.
Okay, but you said every planet you found is unlivable, so how do I...
A good Pathfinder would relish the challenge of solving it.
Jeez.
Right. I think I should go check on things.
Yeah. Just saying this.
And if I
don't
fail,
like
I guess
Tann.
it's no sweat off your back, right? You'll just look for another Pathfinder?
Placing bets on people is part of my job. Some of them pay off. Others...
Yeah, I'm gonna do everything I can to get on Tann's bad side, because I don't like him.
The way I see it, you need me. If I pull this off, maybe you'll look like the leader you pretend to be.
Who?
But first, you have to succeed at being the Pathfinder you pretend to be.
Except I
Where's my
really am the
ship?
Pathfinder. Where's
They're
my
prepping
ship?
it now in the docking bay. The coordinates for Eos will be in the computer.
Yay.
And when you have a moment, we should discuss the missing arcs.
I was wondering about that.
Ow.
Something wrong?
My ears
Ryder,
are ringing.
keep me and Sam node on the Hyperion. Your implant needs attention. and we need to discuss a confidential matter.
No. I'm fine.
Well, that was weird. No one else heard that. Go figure. Okay, talk to you and get you to shut up.
Ryder, you may have a less than flattering view of me, but I want to express my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well, although I understand he played a key role in planning the initiative. I'm sure he'd be concerned that we still have several arcs missing.
They're as much a part of the initiative as the human arc. We'll find them.
We have to. Tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light.
Because that's what's
Did you
important.
have some other business?
Any more information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the initiative can never be fulfilled.
So, I thought there was also a, oh, what's the species called? They say Kilasalai. They wear the suits all the time because they no longer have a planet because it was stolen by the Geth because they created the Geth. I thought they had an arc. What about theirs?
Are there any other
What are they
arcs we
called?
should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first
Thank
wave.
you.
But before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well.
That's gonna be awesome.
Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
Well, that answered my question.
Sounds like the Nexus has had a rough time of it.
Publicly,
Didn't even
I
know
would
that was
say
what
we're more than up
was-
for the
what-
challenge.
What I was gonna say.
Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster. The Scourge
Well,
killed
there's gonna be
hundreds,
hidden in the DLC.
many of them our senior
But,
leadership.
still might be.
Even the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, is dead.
How did Jean Garson die?
With the rest of the leadership, when the Nexus hit the Scourge, a large wing of stasis pods was destroyed. They were killed instantly. These people traveled 600 years and died before they even woke up. Gian Garson never glimpsed Helios. She never saw her vision realized.
Kandros mentioned something about hitting the Scourge. How did it play out?
Criminal elements took advantage of the emergency and preyed on people's fears. An uprising followed.
I don't believe you.
We had no choice but to turn to the Krogan to deal with them. They crushed the mutiny and the criminals were banished. Exiles, we called them. I doubt we've heard the last of them. They're led by an outlaw, Sloane Kelly. She used to be one of ours.
Who is this Sloane Kelly?
She was head of security on the Nexus. She opposed the uprising at first, but eventually turned traitor and joined them. Misguided sympathy for the plight of the common citizen? Nonsense. They posed a direct threat to our existence.
You are a jerk.
There don't seem to be many Krogan around.
Good riddance. The Krogan demanded a greater say in political matters. The last place you want them involved. Their muscle, nothing more.
You are wrong.
Good for
and a
fighting
jerk.
and lifting heavy objects. When they didn't get what they wanted, they left.
Why don't you like the Krogan?
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people tried
wonder
to
if that's gonna
uplift
happen
them,
here.
but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts.
I think that's less
What if
likely.
they bring their tempers to Andromeda? We'll all be dead.
Yeah, I feel like what is likely for us humans is the nuclear war thing. What's not so likely is being elevated to better spatial travel by random aliens. But that's just me.
What more can you tell me about the initiative?
It represents the greatest migration ever attempted. No one had ventured beyond the Milky Way before. We've all left home in search of freedom, fortune, perhaps a new beginning. We are the bravest souls each species has to offer. I hope the Nexus will serve as the seat of government for us all.
So you can rule it.
What do you know about the early days of the initiative?
As most everyone knows, Gian Garson's vision made it happen. She was an entrepreneur on Earth, wealthy, young for a human. Garson had the idea for the initiative in the early 2170s, I believe. Many thought leaving the Milky Way was impossible. But she persevered. And as with most great ideas, the doubters were wrong.
Why do you think most people came?
There are thousands of reasons, one for every colonist here. What does any pilgrim seek? Usually, happiness. Finding the thing that eludes them, the thing to fulfill them. While we cannot promise they will find it, we can facilitate the search.
It looks like a melting pot around here.
The Nexus is home to several initiative species. Many came ahead of the Arks. The hope is that this station will one day serve as the governing body in Andromeda. Though I'm not sure what they were thinking, lumping Krogan into the mix. As a Solarian, my kind tend to have a low opinion of them. Nothing I've seen here has changed that.
What do I need to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. People like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats.
Usually good
Whether
ideas.
that's the cat or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging.
Just a little
Also,
bit.
scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
This and
What
this
can
and
you
this.
tell me
Oh,
about
and this,
forward
this,
stations?
this. Also these other
I was
things.
afraid you'd
That.
ask.
Yeah.
It's mostly what the engineers tell me. A forward station allows mining, equipment repairs, and resupply for field teams. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But seeing as how every colonization effort has failed, it's just theory at the moment. You get to test it out, Ryder.
Woo!
As director of the initiative,
Celebrate.
are you in charge around here or what?
If the others would allow me,
Yeah.
they don't see me as the rightful successor.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
Yeah.
So, you're an accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours, and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the initiative, and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right. Sorry. So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages colonial affairs. I
just got
oversee
licked
all of
by a
it.
key.
In practice,
So sweet
we
of her.
argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made. If we're lucky. It is maddening.
I would think exhausting as well. Now you
That's
get
all.
to shut up.
Thanks for your time.
Of course, as you pointed out, we need each other. Our futures depend on each other's success.
Blah 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 blah. Okay. There we go. You shut up. I'm happy now. Okay. Ooh. Something happened here.
Hey, you okay?
I'm fine. My arms got the brunt of it.
Stuff exploding like this happen often?
Back right after the mutiny, we had a lot of this happening. But not lately.
I wasn't there during the mutiny.
Lucky. I thought we were done with this, honestly. That maybe I was just being paranoid.
You know what they say. It's not paranoia.
If someone is out to get you, yeah. 3rd time this week. It's getting worse. First one was small stuff. This one could have hurt bad if I'd been closer.
That's not good. Sorry. Understatement.
Yeah. And now I have more repairs.
Whoever's doing this has to be stopped before someone gets
Not gonna
seriously
skip
hurt.
As hard as that
That's
is
what I'm trying
resist.
to do. But I'm an engineer, not a PI. I've scanned all the potential sabotage
I'm a
areas I can
PF.
think
Does that
of.
count?
But I don't know who to trust anymore.
Sounds like a lot went down before the Hyperion docked.
Yeah, I guess. Wait. That's it. You can't possibly be involved in this.
Took you long
You
enough.
weren't even here during the mutiny. Would you, if you have time? Maybe you could help me. If they start hitting critical systems.
Sure thing. What can I do?
If you could scan these other panels while I fix this one, that'd really help. I've sent the locations to your Omni tool. Just send me the data when you're done.
Not this one. Okay. Too much to do.
Find out why. Be careful.
I'm a little tired of all this. So, habitation deck. Wee. Hey, another place. Where am I going? Where am I going? Going somewhere. This way. This way. Into here. Hey, friend.
Hello, Sarah. Welcome back to Sam Node. I've adjusted my connection to your implant. The headache you experienced before shouldn't reoccur.
Yeah, what was that about? You said we need to discuss something confidential?
You should know certain facts before you leave on your expedition. It seemed best we speak alone.
Sam, if we're going to work together, you can't keep hiding things from me.
Apologies. I am simply following your father's wishes.
What was he keeping secret?
My true capabilities. Alec overrode the implant's safety protocols. It allows me unrestricted access to the Pathfinder's physiology.
And that's me now.
And only you. I can act as a force multiplier, dramatically enhancing your motor and neural skills when required. Alec called them profiles. They provide unique tactical augmentation during combat.
Cool.
Your father preferred to keep this fact to himself.
Keeping things like this secret just makes everyone suspicious, like you're up to something.
Alec didn't think others would understand. He viewed it as a symbiotic relationship, benefiting us both.
What do you get out of this?
Though I'm artificial in design, I am fully sentient, far beyond what even the Initiative understands.
I don't follow. You're an AI, so what's different?
I am a new form of AI, drawing directly from human experience. Your implant is my window into the world.
That's pretty amazing.
But beyond what many people will accept, your father knew some would fear it.
Yeah, he's got a point. So, what does this mean for the two of us?
I find myself in an unusual position. Though I had access to your father's experiences, there is a gap in my understanding.
How so?
He placed a block on portions of my memory array.
Why?
Perhaps so when you asked me what his plan was, I wouldn't know.
And Dad strikes again.
But not without recourse. The further you explore as a Pathfinder, the more blocks will be removed. Perhaps you should begin in your father's quarters. In the meantime, unless you have more questions, your new ship awaits.
That would be nice.
Thanks.
Where? Profiles. Infiltrator. There we go. Boop doop doop doo. What? Profiles. Why do I have this? Interesting. That's nice. That's kind of cool too. Really though, I would think I would be engineer. Huh. Okay. Whatever. Off we go. Journal. You know what? I'm gonna save the ship for next time. This has been Super Chaos 5 with Mass Effect Andromeda. See you next time.